Hi everybody, it's Kate Kaltoff and it's a One for Wednesday. So it's going to be a fun afternoon here. I am going to share with you another idea for the Crane of Fortune card kit. You actually get the card kit from me, but this is an idea that you could create possibly with whatever supplies you have on hand. Just a little fun extra. So I'll give everybody a couple of seconds here. Just because, I don't know, did I start early? No, I don't think so. I think I started right about on time. Plus, it gives me a couple more minutes to drink my tea. So I'm curious, for those of you that are stampers, I'd be curious what stamp set you have on your desk right now that you're working with. If you have a particular stamp set that you've been playing around with, just write it in the comments. It's always kind of fun to see what people are working with. Obviously, for me, it's Crane of Fortune, just because it's my kit to go this month. Hello, Jean. Jean is watching from North Dakota. Nisi's here. Welcome. I'm still waiting to see who has a stamp set on their desk and what is it? We'd love to know. Maybe you don't know what's on your desk. Maybe you can't find what's on your desk. Oh, good. We have someone telling us things. Renee is saying she has on the horizon. That's one of the things I want to work on. So you're ahead of me, Renee. And Jean has hearts and wishes for Galentine Day cards. Oh, and Donna has Daffodil Daydream on her desk. Daffodil Afternoon is the name of the celebration paper, I think. So that's kind of fun. And I do like the Daffodil Daydream. I will be sharing cards with you. I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after, but for those of you that are in my group, that is going to be my swap card this month and my top 10 card. Hello. Oh, and Nisi has Gumball Greetings on her desk. She's making cards today for her grandchildren. That's so much fun. I don't have any grandchildren yet. I have some grand dogs, but no grands in the human form yet. Hello. Hi, Yvonne. She's already sharing. That's so fun. All right. I think I'll officially get started, being we've had a few seconds to chit chat. All right, my name is Kate Kaltoff and welcome to our One for Wednesday. Today we are actually going to make a card as well as do mailbox shares. I have a good handful of cards that I'll be sharing at the end of this video, but first we're going to go ahead and get started with this really pretty card. And it's sort of a coordination card in that it works with my Crane of Fortune card kit to go this month. It's not included in the card kit to go, but it is an idea for you if you are collecting some of those products that I am using in our card kit to go this month. So this bundle is pretty neat because this flower shape does cut out the flower shape from the designer series paper. And I actually have a 12 by 12 piece of that pattern. So we can count how many cards you could make from one piece of 12 by 12 paper if you were going to recreate this design exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down and let's get started. So just give me a second. Okay, here we are. So this is the card and it's just so pretty. I really, really love the Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper. And then of course, the stamp set works so wonderfully with it. And so this is a fun fold card. I'm not sure of the exact name, but it has a tuck in because I can't stand it when cards just pop open and they don't behave. So I created this card so that there was a little bit of a tuck in. So you're tucking the sentiment a little bit behind the flower, which keeps that side closed. So you open it up and you immediately got a little burst of designer series paper here on your left side. And then I left the inside blank so you could create this for whatever you wish. And so we'll go ahead and we'll make this card. I have a lot of the pieces prepped, so it shouldn't take too long. But first I wanted to show you the designer series paper. This is a 12 by 12 sheet. And I did go ahead and count these out. So I'm not counting anything that's, that's cut off. So I'm looking for whole flowers that we can die cut with the die. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There would be 6 cards that you could make from one sheet of designer series paper if you were using this exact card making design. And so since you get 2 pieces of paper, if you get 2 pieces in every pack of designer series paper, you could actually make a dozen cards that look exactly like this. So that's pretty fun. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the Symbols of Fortune designer series paper so you can see how gorgeous this paper is. It's one that attracted my eye immediately when I got the mini catalog into my hands. And this is gorgeous paper right here for wedding cards. So one of the cards in my card kit to go is a wedding card. And then here are the really pretty cranes. And I don't believe they actually work with the die. They're just a little bit too small and not quite at the right angle. But you could fussy cut some of those if you did want to use those, or just use it in the background, or maybe on a scrapbook page would be really pretty. And then here's the side that I like, because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a screen. I just think there's so much artistry in the Asian culture, and they make the most beautiful screens. And I know they go for so much money if you find an antique one and can sell it somewhere. It's very in high demand. So I just love this. I think it's just so elegant. Then we have a lot of gold foil on this paper. So this is one side, and then here's the other side that has those really pretty flowers on. And then here are some leaves. And all of a sudden, I just went blank on the name of that plant that makes those leaves. And I think maybe it's called a ginkgo plant, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody can help me out. Here's the other side. And again, this reminds me of those gorgeous screens. And so I actually, in one of my kits to go, I actually pair these 2 papers in sort of a screen design. And here is another beautiful card, or beautiful piece of paper from this. Look at that, the cranes flying through the clouds. Oh my gosh, just incredible. These papers are so incredible. And here's another one. This looks like something you could find in North America. I'm thinking there's all kinds of different flowers that have this sort of shape. Of course, I don't know my flowers very well, but I do see this shape various times. And then I love this side. This is crumb cake and basic white. And you can do so much with these 2 neutral colors, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful backdrop for your images. So for example, that's what I put as the backdrop on this card, and it's just such a gorgeous image. It just makes the image pop. All right, so let's go ahead now, and I'm just going to give you the details since we're talking about Crane of Fortune. When you purchase at least $50 from me, using this host code, WNZSDRQG, you get the Crane of Fortune setups free. So there's 8 setups. So 4 designs, 2 of each design. And you can find out all of the information, including actually seeing pictures of the cards that we're going to be making, if you go to my blog, which is www.stampingtoshare.com. All right. And the offer ends in less than a week. So it ends on Tuesday. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this card. The first thing that we're going to need is our fun fold. So I have that ready to go here. And this is evergreen paper, and it's 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And I've scored it at 1 1/2 inches and 7 inches. And then you fold it inwards. And of course, I'm going to need my bone folder because we want to make these creases behave as well as possible so that we can set our card up without things popping off of it. And then the other thing we have here is a piece of that beautiful bamboo background paper, and it's 3 3/4 by 4 inches. So that is going to fit perfectly right here. But before we put that down, we want to make sure that we do our ribbon wrap. You can see that there's a ribbon over here on the right-hand side. So we are going to use, and I just opened this up brand new. We are going to use the Evening Evergreen Open Weave ribbon. So we're going to cut it just a little bit bigger than we need it to be. And then we're going to wrap it around and tape it on the back side. I'm curious if you guys could make comments about whether or not you tape it, because I've had demonstrators tell me, okay, you're missing out. You should just run a little bit of Stamp and Seal on the back, and then you can put your ribbon down and it's just so much quicker. So I'm curious how many of you use Stamp and Seal on the back to secure your ribbon, and how many of you use Scotch tape? I'm just curious about that because I've been using Scotch tape since the year 2000 when I first started stamping, and I've never done anything differently. But I do know there's other ways of doing it. So I'm curious what the other ways might be. Not that I'm going to change, but it's maybe helpful for somebody else that would like to do it different than I do it. Nisi says she tapes. Donna says she uses tape. And Terry's telling me that ginkgo is right as far as the name of the leaves. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Tila's telling me she tapes just like I do. Oh, nice. Okay, so now I'm going to just do a little tie on up here at the top. I'm going to flip that over. What I love about this ribbon is look at how fun it is. It just does that cute little poppy thing. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. And it's so light and fresh. It's really beautiful ribbon. Then I'm going to take my scissors and just trim it because we don't need it quite this long. And there it is. It's just so darling. Okay, so hold that up so you can see it. And it's just so well behaved too. I like ribbon like that. Okay, now we can go ahead and we can put this down onto the front panel of our card. So to do that, I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue so that we can go ahead and wiggle it into place and get our measurements all the way around perfectly centered. So we'll do that next. So let's just scoot that in. Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful a day can be when stamping touches it. Don't you agree? I'm so busy today because I am getting ready for my demonstrator meeting, which is tomorrow night. So I've got a lot on my plate. All right, so there we go. We've got that part done. We have another panel that we're going to put on the left-hand side here. Remember, this was scored at 1 1/2 inches. So we are going to need a panel of paper, and I'm using that kind of screen-looking one. That's 1 1/4 by 4 inches. So that will fit in here perfectly. So let's go ahead and set that in. Again, we're going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue to do that. You guys are so cute. You must all be You must all be big fans because almost everybody says they use tape like I do. Oh, that's sweet. It's so fun too when I get cards in the mail from my downline members or from my customers who have been with me for a long time. They also do their inside panels like I do, where rather than putting adhesive all over it, they just put adhesive at the top so it stays nice and flowing and more elegant. Okay, so now we have the inside panel to do. So that's going to be basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. And then on the inside, remember, we just have that little strip. Again, it coordinates with the outside and just gives the eye something to look at when you open up the card, and then you can customize it. It is 1 by 4 inches. So I went ahead and put that down with some multi-purpose liquid glue. Then, because this is basic white, anytime I'm working with basic white or very vanilla, I like to use Stampin' Seal. So we're going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back just at the top so that we can have a nice, easy, elegant card. So we'll center that in and then just give that a press across the top. And the next thing, let me get some things out of the way. We need a scrap of thick basic white. And why do we need thick basic white? Well, remember that we are tucking this behind the flowers, and our designer series paper, although it is heavier than some designer series papers you'll find out there, it is a little bit more on the lightweight side as far as whether, if you want to use it as a tuck-in piece. So I have backed my design with a cutout from thick basic white. And then I also cut out, I'm going to show you the stitched rectangle, and it's this one right here. So the very center piece of your large set of stitched rectangles. And I have all those pieces somewhere sort of handy. Let's see if we can find them. Oh, and then we have to have a little strategic scrap of that 12 by 12 Symbols of Fortune paper featuring the cutout that works with the die. And then I did cut that out in advance, that tucked in right here. And again, since there's only 6 of these designs per page, you probably want to cut it so that you can use all 6 of them if you really love this card. All right, so here we go. We are going to take our scrap, thick basic white die cut, and we're going to take our image cutout from the designer series paper, and we are going to use multi-purpose liquid glue. And I think I'm going to grab a silicone mat. It helps me to see what I'm doing, and I think it probably helps you see what I'm doing, because even though the white looks really nice on video, sometimes it's hard, it doesn't show up very well when you're doing white on white. So there we go, and then we're going to take this and put that right in, and because we're using multi-purpose liquid glue, we've got a few seconds here just to wiggle that perfectly into place. Let me grab a Kleenex. There we go. Okay, and then this actually is going to get Stampin' Dimensionals on it. So we're going to flip it over. And I'm going to put a bunch of Stampin' Dimensionals down. But I want to be careful that I don't put it right here, because that's where the tuck-in piece is going to go. So I'm going to keep it away from that one spot. So I won't put it on the stem, and I won't put it right here, because we want to make sure that we can still do a tuck-in. So I'm doing quite a few, as you are probably noticing, because I want a really sturdy flower. And we are good. So then we're going to take our card, which here it is. For a second, I was panicking because I couldn't find it. And we can just go ahead and set this in already. We know that we're going to be tucking our sentiment in. If you want, you can kind of set the sentiment right where you think it's going to work. There we go. And now we need to stamp our sentiment. So I've got some Evening Evergreen ink. And I have my Crane of Fortune sentiment, much luck and good fortune. And we're going to set this in, and I can't get my head over the top. So we've got our fingers crossed that it'll turn out. And it does, but it's a little bit low. So I did one in advance that was going to be perfect. So let me go ahead and we'll use this one. Plus this one's dry. So now what I want to do is I'm going to add some dimensionals, but only on this left-hand side, because I want it to be the same height as my flower piece. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to add 2 dimensionals right down here. And then we can set this in right where we want it. And honestly, I think I could get away with maybe adding another one. So I think I am, because this is going to take a little bit of abuse because of the fact that it's being tucked. So I think that's going to work. So I like to tuck it first so I know exactly where it's going. And then once I get it pretty much where I want it, I can do a little press. And there it is. So this flower is actually holding the left side shut. Isn't that cool? Now to make it even more perfect, because as you can see, it's looking pretty good, but Stampin' Up! Has a set of in color jewels. These are the 2021-2023 in color jewels. So you'll see there's a section of Evening Evergreen. So we're going to add those. So I've got my little set of jewels. I'm going to use my take your pick tool. We're going to grab a bigger one and set that right down here. It sort of accents the sentiment. And then we'll take a couple of the smaller ones and we'll put one right here, just kind of tucked into where that little divot is, where the flowers are, and then another one up here. So I'll hold that up so you can see exactly what I did. But that makes a really, really pretty accent for your card. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my goodness, it just takes my breath away. So I do hope that you enjoyed seeing these 2 cards. I sure enjoyed making them for you. Thank you so much. But now we can go on to mailbox shares. So let me put a few things away here and then we'll get started doing our mailbox shares, because I have some cards that came in the mail. The first one that I want to share with you uses the Art Gallery stamp set. And this is from my downline, Carol Sullivan. And it's a beautiful card. She actually made it as non-traditional colors for a Valentine card. And she did the type of stamping where, imagine this white panel is not there, but you take a layer and you put your 2 panels together and then you stamp all over the top. And then you take that layer and add a white panel, and then everything is stamped like so perfectly. And any ghosting disappears when you add that layer. So a very fun technique from my downline member, Carol. So thank you, Carol. A really beautiful card. I love it. The next card that I want to share is from my downline member, Diana Wilson. She makes the most beautiful cards. And on this particular one, she used the Grassy Grove bundle with the New Horizons 6x6 Designer Series paper. And talk about an absolutely gorgeous card. Now, I did go ahead and get this bundle because I was looking at this and thought, well, the possibilities for a card like this are just endless. I mean, sometimes it's nice to have a selection of landscape cards on hand because they work so well for people who are nature lovers and people who enjoy the outdoors, and masculine cards. There's so many reasons to make landscape cards, and talk about an easy way to make one. Just die cut and pop that New Horizons Designer Series paper behind your die cut, and you have an incredibly gorgeous card. So thank you so much to Diana. This one happens to be a birthday card. And then it also has, for someone who is wonderful in each and every way, I know that that is the Special Moments stamp set that is still part of our celebration right now. So thank you, Diana. She also mentioned that she cased the idea from Amy Coenders. So very nice of you to share this with me, Diana. I love it. Then I got a gorgeous card just in the mail. I believe it was yesterday. This is from my downline member, Yvonne Ware, who also is my assistant. So even though she lives far away from me, she is still my assistant and helps me with all of the card making that I do when I send thank you cards to my customers. You can see why I've hired her to make cards for me, because look at how gorgeous. What a fine job she does. So she was just sending me a little Valentine's card and a little thank you card. She's using the Sweet Talk Designer Series paperback here, and you've probably recognized this bundle. It's the Sweet Conversations bundle. I'm pretty sure I showcased it in early January, so you could be prepared for your Valentine's cards. So thank you so much, Yvonne. What a gorgeous, gorgeous card. Then we're going to move into some swaps that I have prepared. And these swaps are from a leaders group that I'm in. So you will find some great ideas here. So this is one of those stand-up cards that does fit in an envelope. So it actually looks like, it actually looks like this from the top. And then it can be flattened out to fit in a standard size envelope. But then when you get it, you just have to kind of fold it all in like this. And then it becomes a little stand-up card, sort of like a little diorama scene. So here's another idea for a landscape card, is to use the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. And you create little landscapes with rainbows, which is exactly what this swap card did. So this is from Leanne Furness. She's in a leaders group that I participate in. And one thing she did, and I love this idea, so she made some really pretty vellum clouds. She used Wink of Stella on the clouds. Can you see the sparkle? Oh my gosh, I just love that. And then she's got the various rainbows way back here that you see through the opening, but then you also have your sentiment rainbow piece right over the top that collects, that kind of holds those two vellum clouds in place. And that's your sentiment as well, sending you a rainbow of happiness. And it's just beautiful. Of course, she also went the extra step and she embossed her top layer before she cut out, I believe it's probably the dies from Stitch So Sweetly. Now I'm not sure of that, but I think it might be, but it's really, really nice. So thank you so much to Leanne Furness for sharing such a really, really pretty swap card. Another person in the leaders group that I'm a part of is Rachel Tessman, and she's an extremely talented designer in the Twin Cities area. So I've known her really well for years and years, and we've been on lots of incentive trips together. And I really, really love this card. And on the inside, I'm actually going to try to replicate what she did. So wish me luck. So I'm going to be needing the elegant tag punch and then a piece of paper that is 1 3/4 inches wide. So when I open this up, I'm going to show you why I want to try to recreate this. It's really incredible. And I'll hopefully be able to give you enough of a tutorial that you'll be able to recreate it as well. So my favorite punch for sure out of the new mini catalog is the cloud punch. And then this little sentiment is from Special Moments. It's one of our $100 spends for celebration. It's just a ton of sentiments. And it's a top fold over card. So it's a little bit of a fun fold. So you open it up, then you've got the rainbow, then you've got the brilliant rainbow dies cut with shimmer paper. You've got some more cloud punches cut from gold foil that replicates, you know, gold at the end of the rainbow. And then you have this, and I was looking at that black pot and I thought, well, what the hoo-hey? I couldn't find any dies. I was just like, where did she get this? Because it's so cool. Well, she used, and I'm going to try again, I'm going to try to do this for you. She used the elegant tag punch. So once you have your strip of paper that is 1 3/4 inches wide, what you're going to want to do is go in from the top like this on the back side. Am I going to be able to get it? Hold on. I've got to get a little cheater. So to cheat, you just take a piece of paper. Hold on. I can do this. I can. Hold on. Okay, so I've got my piece of paper here so things don't get so caught. But I'm going to take the piece that I'm going to be punching and I can just push it in through the back as long as you have it at the right depth. And then I can pull out my little helper piece of paper that's also cut at 1 3/4 inches. Then I'm going to make a punch out. And that's what she used. So see how that fits perfectly? So I'm so glad I solved that mystery because I thought, oh, people are going to want to copy this. Then what you do is you pick however wide you want it to be. And I honestly don't know. I didn't measure this. So I'm just going to take a scissors. I know it's not this wide. I'm just going to take a scissors and cut this end. I'm going to take my cheat sheet, my little cheater sheet again, put that in here. This just helps you so that you can get the other end in without catching so many pieces, so many metal pieces. Then you take the other end and you set it in. You just push down, take out your cheater sheet. And then once again, you're going to punch down. And there's your little pot for your pot of gold. See? Mine's a little bit smaller, but you get the idea of how it's done. So thank you to Rachel Tessman for such a really fun and beautiful card. I love getting her swaps. Anytime I can swap with Rachel, I'm all over it. Okay, so here we go. So we'll put this one aside. Then I have another swap card to share with you. This one is from Tessie Splat. Okay, so I'm not sure how to say the last name, but she used the Soaring Swallows bundle. And is that ever cool? So I didn't even realize with the Soaring Swallows bundle that there's actually branches in there that look really springish, and you can add some little cutout flowers to the ends to make them look even more spring-like. And then this says sending loving thoughts. She's got a lot of sponging going on here. So she sponged a couple of edges here and she's got some layering and it's just really, really spectacular. So that is her card in the leader swap that we were in. So quite gorgeous. Okay, then I have a card that uses the flowing flowers. This one is from Brenda Taylor, and you'll notice back here, there's some, what is the name of that? Simply Marvelous paper. So one side has kind of a marble look and the other side has kind of a water look or a satin look. So then what Brenda did is she stamped that small set of flowers. She must have inked it up, stamped it off once, And then she stamped happy birthday on full strength over the top. Or maybe she did happy birthday in gorgeous grape, and then the flower was done in Highland Heather. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure you could play around with it to get the same look. And then she has just a little stamped flower on the inside panel. So this again is from Brenda Taylor, another swap from the leaders group that I'm in. And this is such a cutie. This is from Beth Tetzlaff, and she uses the Awesome Otters. Hold on. I have to get the cheat sheet out here so I know what she all used. She used the Awesome Otters, and she used the Flowering Rain Boots bundle. So she's got her little otter coming up from behind the watering can. And then she's got a little pot that got tipped over. And obviously the flowers are the little otter's crown. So really quite a cute card. And then she's got the rainbow paper here in the background. And then it looks like she used the bark embossing folder. So quite a lot of work went into this, and it's just stunning. And then on the inside, she's got, little pebbles at the bottom, and then live life in full bloom. Just beautiful. So again, this is the Awesome Otters stamp set, which is a free celebration item with a $50 order, along with the Flowering Rain Boots bundle. So there we go. And I just think it's so cute how she even added a little sideways ribbon to a little bit of baker's twine there, or I guess it's actually linen thread, and just decorated the pot. And then you'll also notice she did use Wink Estella on a few of these pieces. So the flowers got sparkles and the watering can has sparkles, and it's just so cute. So thank you, Beth Tetzlaff. What a card. And we have another Flowing Flowers card. And again, it uses it looks like shaded spruce. And then we've got Highland Heather and gorgeous grape. This, I believe, this is stamped with the postage stamp punch. And so that's really super easy way to add a sentiment. So it's just lovely. And so this is from Teresa Westerman. So again, these are all leader swaps that I've collected over the last, we had a leaders meeting. I was back in January. So I'll be sharing these for the next couple weeks as we get through all of these, because I think we had about 50 people that swapped. So it's quite a few cards, but lots of great ideas. So thank you, Teresa, but she goes by Tree Westerman. And then the final card I'll share with you from the leaders meeting uses that paper that we just used. I love it. So this is from Tammy Nelson. Tammy's actually in my downline group, and she used the Love and Happiness stamp set. And it says, a wonderful marriage is a collection of small happy moments. And then when you open it up, it says celebrating your anniversary. So I love seeing anniversary cards. We don't see those too often. So it's really fun to get an anniversary card. I also like the way she really highlighted the designer series paper here. And then she just stamps her sentiment, and she accented it with a little polished dot and a couple of butterfly pieces that she put together. So again, Tammy used the Symbols of Fortune designer series paper, and there's a lot to pick from. So you could make quite a few cards with this design. Just beautiful. All right, so thank you everybody so much for joining me today. It was really fun having you here. I just love doing our One for Wednesdays because I get to showcase all the cards that come to my house from other people. So then you don't have to just be stuck seeing my ideas. You can see lots of different ideas. So that's one of the advantages of sharing cards with you. You get to see a little bit more than just what I do. But then I also really enjoy just making one card for you. And you guys are always so gracious to tell me how much you love it, and it just makes me so happy. So thanks so much for sticking through it. I know these can get a little long, but hopefully it's been worth it and that you've truly enjoyed it. All right, so I am going to end this and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.